I am Dungeon Master, your guide in the realm of Dungeons and Dragons.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I am the Dungeon Master, and we have a special session of Heroes Wanted. Tonight, Donovan returns, and I will explain how this turn of events came about. But first, Soggy has been traveling for some time and has encountered a noble warforged knight by the name of Noman.
Probably
To
after the fact that he survives a charge of what are they called? Those certain types of birds?
Axe Beaks.
Yes. A herd of axe beaks.
And so, left on his own, Soggy quickly attached himself to this noble warforged knight who probably views Soggy as a, defenseless glass cannon that needs to be protected because despite his impressive offensive firepower, he is rather weak and easily smacked around by, most things in the world. And so, um, Noman probably feels some sense of duty to protect this weak kobold who is, belittled by everyone else around him. And so you guys have actually been traveling together for a little while. And I'll give you guys an opportunity to, do some role playing of like the first meeting and all of that real quick now before we introduce Donovan back into the mix and how this came to be.
Oh, okay. Mm, uh, hey, so out of the blue,
You
hmm.
spot a wounded and frightened kobold as you're traveling along.
As Foggy is sort of staggering, sort of like letting out heaving gasps, sort of like looking around, saying, sort of calling out names, random names like Vassal, F- Gnome Brothers, Cat, where are you?
And then Noman will call out of the blue suddenly, "You there, citizen? Are you in need of help?"
Soggy sort of turns to look and sees the Warforge and stumbles back a bit, sort of surprised and sort of like starts scampering around and says, and looks around and says, who said that?
It is I. I am Noman, Knight of the Realm,
Soggy
and
looks
you
up
appear to be hurt.
and Soggy looks up to see this giant machine and says, "How are you doing that? That big metal stuff?"
This metal frame is a part of my body.
Pardon?
I am a Warforged Knight.
Soggy sort of squints at you, sort of confused, all like, and says, "What is War Forged?"
Yeah, kobolds would have no knowledge of them, but like humans would know that these were machines of war used hundreds of years ago before the fall of technology.
And then Noman's simple claim is, I am a creation of lost artifact, an old weapon of war.
Oh no.
Today,
Soggy's back in time. You're fresh, not necessarily fresh like a new Warforged. You could be up to like 100 years old, but you are in your right time. He's not.
so in his context, that information, it says, then simply redacting a single word, a product of artifice and a weapon of war. I have been modified for my specific duties here. If you are in distress, I can offer you healing and protection.
Soggy sort of sighs and says, "That would be nice. Wait, are you here because of the Hobgoblin War?"
Yes.
I don't. Wait, really? Huh, okay. Then, yes, of course.
"Oh, this is good. My companions and I were heading there because we're heading to the city to help, but then they got lost because of Axebeak, and now I can't find them." Soggy says, all worried like.
Yeah. So because you're a knight of the realm, basically you're free to do what you want as like a lord, but your basic duty would be to protect the people during times of war. So you're just kind of like going from settlement to settlement and like fighting off any like small bands of hobgoblins and orcs and like making sure that people are safe and escorting them to safety if not.
Mm-hmm. Yes. That makes complete sense. Well then. That's simple. Are you familiar with alchemical healing of my kind?
Soggy sort of slowly shakes his head, sort of more confused.
Says, do you have a predisposition to dislike needles?
Soggy sort of, what is, I thought, isn't needle for sewing?
Some, yes, but some, no.
Hey, what's that? Look over there. Injection.
Yeah, basically.
Soggy sort of looks a bit, and then he still feels the prick of a needle and says, "Ow!"
There, that should close your wounds and make you fine. Come along then. If you really have other lost allies.
Where he was stabbed, which is probably the tail, and sort of falls behind and says, "That's stinging a bit, but Soggy feels better. You have weird magic, Metal Man."
That wouldn't be the first time I've been described as such. Now, come on. If there are others lost in this area, we must find them and take them to
Soggy
shelter.
sort of like nods and sort of starts showing you where exactly saw this, where he last saw his friends.
Yeah, so as you guys approach the lake with the arcane portal once again, suddenly Soggy, your eldritch magic like creates a feedback loop and the portal opens up again for a brief moment. Donovan, you find yourself transported through time. You were, last you know, in the hill filled with skeletons, holding on to the Moonblade, trying to keep it safe. But suddenly you are wrenched through space and time like fucking Bill and Ted, and you find yourself standing in front of Soggy at a lake. You're waist deep in water.
Soggy sort of looks down, sort of squints a bit, but then his eyes open up widely and he sort of smiles happily and runs up to Donovan with a joyful yip and says, Donovan!
But
Assuming that my
this Donovan appears to be from an alternate timeline. He doesn't know you for you. His companions were different. And this is like a new beginning for him. He doesn't know how he got here or what was going on. In his timeline, he still had gotten the Moonblade away from Lord Visanthus, but there was no Soggy. There was, no other companions that you would know.
where the hell am I now?
Donovan, you are
Wait, actually,
Do I know you, Kobo?
Anarchus,
Donovan.
where are we?
Soggy sort of steps back a bit and sort of looks down and says, It's me, Soggy. Do you not remember, Donovan?
That armor you're wearing looks like work I would have done on it. I don't remember making it.
Yes, you made it. You were with me when we were fighting General Vathir.
Visanthus.
The
And as soon as
the
he says
second
that, name, of course you recognize it. Visanthus is like your sworn enemy.
Yeah, I remember fighting that bastard. I don't remember you, though.
Why do you not remember me, Donovan? Did something happen to you? Did that weird spell cause you to lose memory?
What do I know of my circumstances?
You know that General Visanthus had been using powerful magic against you, and his ritual to change the sword was obviously very powerful, and so you suspect that he has somehow transported you somewhere. You don't quite know right this second that it's back in time, but you do see a Warforged, a weapon from the wars hundreds and hundreds of years ago. And so, like, to see one would be very, very, very strange indeed.
Warforged. Where the hell am I?
Okay, yeah, again, where are we? I don't know anything.
You guys are by a lake with a arcane portal that was destroyed, but Soggy's eldritch magic temporarily reignited it.
No, I mean geographically, where are we? I would know.
Oh, yes, you're on the border of New Eglia and the Border Kingdoms.
Ah,
Last time I checked, was bordering it. I was in Carpathia. I was fighting a damned vampire. Strange magics cast me. So who the hell knows? I've been fighting skeletons, trying to keep them away from this accursed blade. But where I am now, I have no clue.
As you reach down, you realize that the blade is not on you.
Ah, damn it!
Bobby sort of freaks out and says, "Oh no! If they got the blade, then bad things are going to happen. If we need to get back to our time."
So I'm gonna grab Soggy by the shirt and lift him up to eye level to me and say, what do you know about the Moonblade?
Well, Soggy sort of stutters and says, "Well, it used to be the Sunblade. It's used to slay big bad things until Vanthis cursed it." Now I was also trying to find a way to purify it and you suggested we throw it into Temple of Fire lava.
That was where you were headed with it.
Seems like an idea I would have, but I don't remember saying that.
Noman does step forward a bit and say, "Please put down the kobold."
My eyes glow red as I stare over to the Warforged. Look here, thing. I don't take orders from machines.
You do not take orders from machines. Would you accept advice from a knight of the realm? You can't be manhandling citizens on my watch.
Depends on which realm.
He's a knight of New Eglia. They're the good guys.
Okay, so I assume he has like a brooch or some
Heraldry?
kind of marking.
Oh, for sure.
New Eglia Knight. About time I seen a knight that's not trying to kill me on sight. I'll put Soggy back down on the ground.
Then all is well.
For
I don't know.
now,
Is someone gonna help him out of the water, or are you gonna step out of the water?
Yeah, I'll get out of the
imagine
water.
Doc step out.
Did the portal go bangus? Or is it still just warbling there, ominously?
Yeah, well, like it is still like slightly glowing, but it's no longer the bright flash that brought Donovan here.
So there's clearly a magical disturbance there, but it's probably not an active portal.
There used to be Aboleth there, but we killed it.
Look here, small one. You know about the blade. From what I can tell, you seem to be interested in keeping it out of the hands of those damn vampires. I don't know what your role to play in all this is, or how you know about the blade. What
Soggy
I
sort of
can tell you,
looks at him confused and says, "But Soggy learned it from you."
I learned it by watching you, Dad.
Fucking god, that commercial.
from what I could tell, that damn vampire has been sending me from place to place. I managed to. I'm here now. I have no idea how I've gotten here. I assume it's from those same magics. I hope I don't wind up teleporting off to somewhere else again.
Soggy sort of stands up and says, "Well, if anything, I was heading to Eglia, where the hobgoblins are going to strike, and we could learn about how to get back. Yes?
Hobgoblins? Not particularly my forte. But if there's some people who need some help, I'll help them.
Yes. And by helping them, we learn how to get back.
Well, either way, I need to learn about what happened to the Moonblade. It's my top priority.
Yes. And getting back to present time is my priority too. And helping stop the vampires too. Sucky sucks to be. So, we need to get to where are the hobgoblins striking?
Warway.
Orway. We need to get to Orway.
Let's go. Wherever there's turmoil, sure to be vampires afoot.
Foggy isn't certain that they exist in this time, but it is a lead. So let us go.
What do you mean by this time?
If you haven't noticed, we are in past.
As he says that, you look around and realize that although you recognize parts of this area, it does indeed look very different from the trees and roads that exist in your time. And the Warforged looks far too, well constructed to be the hundreds and hundreds of years old that it would have to be to still exist in your time. Like, he shows no signs of erosion or anything.
How far in the past are we?
About 700 years.
The mountains. They seem smaller.
Yes. This
You
is
say
what I'm trying to tell you. We are in past. So
that bastard time displaced me. Son of a bitch.
indeed he did. That's why we need to find a way home. Back to our time.
From the portal, you hear a distant laughter.
Now that bastard cooed me.
More like reversed Akud.
Kudad!
And Sagi sort of looks around and says, anyways, we need to head out. We can't go back through that portal. It is too weak.
Let's go. I don't want
Yes.
to stand around anymore.
Sagi sort of climbs up onto the Warforged and sort of points forward to where the city is.
At this point, I'm going to have to. Fuck it. Can I dig out my calligraphy supplies and just add a little notes of this arcane thing to a map? It kind of seems like having unregistered magical whatsabouts would be illegal in some law I've never heard of, but I'll have to ask somebody.
Yeah. Your finger transforms into a calligraphy pen, and you begin to write.
Yeah, well, after a few moments I can put that away and get ready to head out. By the way, this is an odd detail. Where are my retainers stationed? Just so I can know.
Yeah, so your retainers are not really, combatants. And so
No, I know that.
And so you usually leave them in like the nearest town when you like go out on forays like this. And so they would be shit, what is that town called? It's like Maidlow. No, it's not Maidlow. That's the town below Lake Shore. Uh, there's some town like Ham Town or some shit like that they would be in.
Yeah, it's a very porky place. All
Yes.
right. Okay. Well, if that's where they are, that's where they are.
Yeah, they're just awaiting you to come and summon them for their retainer duties.
Yes.
In the meantime, they're holding on to your personal wealth and other items that you don't need with you at a constant, basis.
Yes. Good. Well then, let's begin traveling in the indicated direction at a suitable speed.
The kobold is riding you.
Yeah, I noticed, but well, there are some things I put up with and some things that I don't put up with, and this is one of the things that I put up with.
Oh, all right, fair
Actually,
enough.
I put up with a lot of shit.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I just wanted to make it clear. I would say that he you like might have torn your cloak or something, but it's a magical cloak, so it can't be torn.
Yeah, neat. Not to mention, I'm an art fisher. I can totally fix it.
Oh, yeah, true that.
Oh, so you build things.
Many things. In fact, this is not my base exterior. Much of what you have seen has been modified by my own design.
All right.
Oh, if I remember right, Donovan is also a maker.
I'm a blacksmith by trade.
Noble profession. Tools have always been something that hold in high regard.
So I am having difficulty seeing the map. It just says loading.
Oh,
There's a map shared? I don't see one.
I see the map.
Now I see the map. Looks fine.
it should load.
Yes, it still just says loading for me. 1 second. Okay, so I X'd it out.
Yep, let me reshare it.
Yeah, it still says loading.
Try restarting your client. I actually think this is the map I restarted on and fixed it.
I know for some people it does take a second.
There we go.
So as you guys are walking, you hear a horrible screech and the beating of heavy wings. You roll for initiative as you turn around and see a hideous, red, crocodile like creature with the wings of a dragon.
And Soggy, looking up, immediately knows who it is and says, "Oh no!"
Oh wait, I just noticed the thing.
And Donovan initiative is on the main page. You
I'm
can
so
either
sorry. Can you tell me where that is?
yeah, so when you open your character sheet and you click on the main tab, the first one on the top, then initiative is right next to armor class there. You just grab that and drag it over into.
All right. Got a 9.
Nope, you haven't rolled it yet. It's got to be in the chat bar where all the. There you go. Oh, that was just a dice. That wasn't your initiative. You got to grab the +4 and drag that over into the. There you go. So Rayorix, with a hideous growl, flies overhead and lands nearby, unleashing a gout of flame. Yep, he gets all of you.
Can Soggy hide behind you? And the Warforged?
I'd offer cover if I could, but that's not how AoE spells work.
Oh, joy.
Failures all around.
What in the 9 hells? A dragon!
It is Rayorix! Soggy sort of yells at the top of his lungs, It is Rayorix! The elven creation!
Okay, and then you guys. That's too much. What is it doing? All right. I'm just gonna do this. Donovan, you gotta stop putting your wounds at 55, man.
Oh, that's what wounds are?
Yeah.
Okay.
There,
Yeah,
I fixed
wounds
that
is
for you.
And wasn't
yeah.
Soggy fully healed?
There's an audible crackle of electricity as Noman's energy shields go down.
Yeah, everybody should have been healed. I don't know why. Oh, no, Soggy, you rolled a 1 on your system shock. You drop from the shock of getting hit.
Oh. So does that mean I should get healed?
I mean, somebody should heal you, yeah.
That's what I meant. I should be healed.
Oh wait, did did a fucking murder raptor wing in and drop everyone but me?
No, Donovan is up.
Oh, okay, good.
And
For a moment there, I was just like, ooh.
knows what it is.
Donovan, you recognize this monstrosity from your timeline. You don't know how it followed you here or what its goals are, but you know that you owe this thing one. Well, if you want to get technical, you owe him two. So, in Fantasy Grounds, if you want to target something, control and then left click on them will target them. And then go to your actions and decide which, spell or weapon you want to attack it with. And it'll automatically roll and tell you if it hit. You do indeed hit Rayorix with your first shot from your heavy crossbow.
Is he talking? Because I can't hear him.
Oh no, now you gotta grab the damage. No, I don't hear him talking either. There you go. All right, your bolt sticks into the half dragon's scales, but it looks like it's, not hurt that badly. And then on the combat tracker, which is the two crossed swords in the upper right, if you open that up, there will be a dragon head with an arrow pointing down. That is how you end your turn. And if you drag and drop that into one of the numbered boxes at the bottom, 1 through 12, that corresponds with your um with your F keys. So like if you drag and drop it into 12, every time you push F12, it'll end your turn.
Sage, we can't hear you.
All right, sorry. So I did my extra attack. What now? How do I end?
In the combat tracker, the two crossed swords in the upper right, once you open that up, there will be a dragon head with an arrow pointing down below it. That ends your turn. But if you drag and drop that into one of the numbered boxes at the bottom of the screen, those correspond with your F keys, and you can just push F1 through 12 depending on which box you chose, and that'll end your turn every round. Noman?
Yee. Have to do all this being a good person stuff. I'm gonna turn around and heal Asagi.
Well, that's mighty kind of you.
Here, you may have 5 hit points.
Better than 0.
Sagi sort of gasps as he comes back to life and says, "Those needles still hurt."
You learn to live with it. After that, I'm going to turn around, and using my bonus action, I'll refresh my overshield and use my movement to get up and provide a melee threat to Ragnarok or Rayorks.
Rayorks.
All right.
Soggy.
After Sagi sort of realizes that this dragon just decided to burn him, he's not willing to be burnt again and sort of makes an effort to avoid being in his gaze and hiding into the shadows to strike. So, a DM, do I have enough movement to move behind the to get behind the dragon?
Not if you want to attack.
Okay, so I'll probably run up to the side of the dragon. And cast Lightning Bolt.
Don't forget to target him. Oh man, your lightning bolt strikes the side of the massive crocodilian dragon, draconic crocodile, and it burns a hole through one of its wings.
And Sagi sort of like silently says to himself, "That's what you get for last time." And hides into the shadows so he can't be seen. So he's going to make a stealth check at advantage. So I'm hidden with a 19.
Correct. Hey, look, I get my breath back. That's fun. But some jackass came running up on me, so guess I'll have to deal with that first.
Aisha May. Fucking hell.
and I clamp down on you as I grapple and restrain you with my bite. Arr!
Damn, I don't know what that does in this game.
It reduces your movement to 0.
That's it? Cool. Goodbye.
And then drag the damage over. The beast is heavily wounded, but not down yet. And then don't forget to end your turn.
Oh, I was muted. Let's see. So, I mean, I'm not going anywhere, but I can just attack the dragon, right?
Yeah, and
Dracopilian.
unlike Pathfinder, you can move anywhere around him so long as you don't leave his threatened square.
Ah, I see. Ah. I I'm gonna hook my sword arm around this thing and reel back with my thunder gauntlet and try and blat him twice. Why did I roll twice? Oh, I still wait. Huh? Oh, did it just wait, what? I saw
Because you
2
didn't,
dice come out.
yeah, you didn't give yourself proficiency with it more than likely. Let me double check. Oh, it says you have proficiency. So, oh, because you're grappled and restrained.
That gives me disadvantage?
Yeah. The restrained does.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's I wish I knew that. All right, I already started this. So I guess I'm gonna try and finish it, but damn, that actually sucked. Ah, man, if I had known that, I'd just cast a spell out. Fuck. Okay. As a bonus action, I refresh my energy shielding.
Yes. Soggy.
Soggy sees his new friend being chomped down and sort of like says to himself, I know how that feels. before then going to cast Witch Bolt.
Oh no, you missed.
You see this sort of foggy cloud fly by as it just poof. Soggy sort of like mutters to himself, sort of cursing to himself before once again hiding.
Realizing that you're made out of metal and not meat, Rayorix drops you. You are no longer grappled or restrained, and you get an attack of opportunity as he goes after Donovan.
All right, let's hear that thunder crack. Hey, there's a piercing snap through the air as I crack this one in the side. Rayorix now takes disadvantage on all attack rolls against people who are not me.
Is Donovan you?
No. Sorry, I tried.
Hey, he still took disadvantage. You are critically wounded as I grapple and restrain you. You can attempt to escape the grapple, which would end the restrained, or you can make an attack at disadvantage, cast a spell.
I think I'm gonna try to like. I guess I'll try to get out underneath from its grapple.
So that would be an opposed athletics or strength check. You struggle mightily against the jaws of the draconic crocodile, but it unfortunately holds you tight. You can still make an attack.
Or cast a spell.
I'm so sorry, guys. I'm like on the phone. I love my girl, but she won't shut the hell up.
Do you want to make an attack with your heavy crossbow, or do you want to end your turn?
I'll shoot at it with my I guess my hand crossbow.
Hand crossbow, sure. Nomen.
Huh. Well, He's just right over there, so I'm going to run up on him and try and
You get
put an end to it.
You get advantage because he is technically flanked.
Ah, yes, the flanking system in this game. Let's see here. There's a little advantage button I can click right there. Yeah, that's how that works.
That is how
I
that works.
come down hard on him, and I try and hit him with my sword and my gauntlet. I hit with that.
Critically wounding him with your thunder gauntlet. You bring your sword down, but it bounces off of his scales.
Oh, I didn't roll that with advantage.
Oh, just roll one more time.
Okay. Ew.
I mean to say, you stab through him with your sword. You punch him in the side, getting his attention. He drops Donovan and spins his head around, and you say something cool as you stab through his mouth with your sword. You say, I don't want this battle to drag on.
I would imagine him saying, "Consider yourself slaughtered."
Noman probably just said something really bureaucratic sounding, like justice rendered.
You have the right to remain silent. And so, finishing off the dread draconic Rayorks, Donovan and Soggy, you feel an immense sense of accomplishment having finished off a threat that you let loose, way long ago. Although Donovan, that's right, this version of you doesn't know Rayorks from letting him loose. I forgot about that. So yeah, Soggy, you feel an immense sense of accomplishment having finally righted that wrong.
He sort of climbs up onto Rayorik's back, bloodied yet standing, and says, "Slain is the false dragon!" and pulls out his dragon bone dagger and stabs it multiple times into the skull of Rayorik.
Yeah, you guys see Soggy just go full Mel Gibson on this thing.
We got to get the hell out of here. There's just dragons apparently flying around. This is clearly not a safe place.
Draconids are not common to this area.
Correct.
I wonder. Well, all that can be done now is... But what would do best? Well, someone will pay for that.
Soggy looks to the Warforged and says, "What are you talking about?"
Well, when dealing with dragons, there are parts you can submit for rewards or selling them for academic studies. I just don't...
His breath weapon gland is valuable to arcane, purposes and all of that. His scales are valuable to armorers, and there is indeed a reward from the lords of the realms. Anyone who slaughters a dragon and brings its head to the kings or lords is afforded a bounty.
So, we'll take it.
About how much do I imagine this thing's head weighs?
Being a huge creature, its head is about as big as Donovan, and Weighs about 150-ish pounds.
All right. Well, I guess to get the most substantial parts, I'm going to lop off its head and carve out. It's the gland. I think was called the Draconis flagellum, and it should be located right below the heart.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'll
Soggy
take
will-
those two things and think, well, it'd be convenient if we could collect the scales, but
Soggy
it's
will-
unrealistic in these circumstances.
will
Unless, actually,
say
how
that
close
he-
is the nearest
and
town,
says,
really?
I can do it. It is like scaling fish.
It's not about whether or not you can get the scales off of it. It's about whether or not you can carry all of that.
There are clearly hundreds of pounds of useful material here, but it wouldn't be easy to get it anywhere valuable.
And
Unless there's a town particularly close.
it's about 2 days.
2 days? Nah. We should just stick to the most valuable parts and let nature have the rest.
Soggy, despite hearing that, is going to try and carve off some scales of the dragon.
Yeah, you can
Oh.
get individual scales.
Take whatever you like. I'll be
Yeah.
carrying the
Soggy is going to
messy
crush
parts.
the scales one by one and sort of put them in his satchel.
Yeah. Yeah, you get a few scales.
Nomen harvests the specified head and gland.
Correct. As you carve into it, though, in its stomach, you guys do find the remains of an adventurer.
Does he carry anything identifying?
Yes. He is wearing the exact armor that Soggy last saw Donovan in.
Soggy sort of shocked is going to try and compare the skeleton to Donovan.
It is an identical match for height.
Soggy sort of palely sort of stumbles back as he looks at it and says, what
What are you doing?
what Soggy sort of like is, look, it is you, but skeletal.
On the skeleton's hand is the +2 ring of strength.
Wait, so Nomen will comment. You're saying that this is he?
He has some ring on him. I don't exactly see how this is me.
Oh. I'm gonna take a closer look at the ring. Does it look like anything?
Yeah, it's a ring of iron. Yeah, when you take a closer look though, Donovan, you can see things that like you know to be yours.
What is this nonsense? I was never eaten by a dragon. Obviously.
Maybe you just don't remember. You know, like the hangover?
Is this somehow someone different? So he thinks to himself and is just concerned now.
Well, while everyone's having their existential crisis, I take out my paperwork and note down when and where I killed the thing.
Yes.
In any case, Soggy thinks we should rest.
And that is when the last thing that Donovan searches for is found. The hilt of a sword colored silver and black, you recognize it instantly as the now tainted Moonblade. Apparently, this Donovan had gone to the Fire Temple to destroy the sword and was met by Rayorix. And that is where he met his end. But that does not account for the Moonblade from this Donovan's timeline. So one Donovan was eaten by Rayorix. Another one had never been possessed by the Wraith, but still had the Moonblade, and now that Moonblade is missing. But now you guys have one of the Moonblades. And that is where we draw to a close for this session of Heroes Wanted. I want to thank you guys for playing, especially for getting Donovan back. And I want to thank anyone who's watching. And as always, everyone, good gaming.